I would like to take a text tonight out of that and call Satan's Eden.
Great. So, today's message was Satan's Eden. It was incredible. Really enjoyed today's message. And in today's message, Branham takes us into the book of Genesis. So, in order to get to Satan's Eden, we're going to talk first about God's Eden and how God created the heavens and the earth. So, in the book of Genesis, it tells us, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was void and without form. And then God said, let there be light. And God started to work on his creation. So here we find God's Eden. God took 6,000 years, 6 days. On the first day, 1,000 years. Second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. And on the sixth day, he created man. On the fifth day, he created all the animals and everything. And on the sixth day, he created man. And on the seventh day, he rested. And Branham said,
what a beautiful place. God was so satisfied till he just went back and rested from all of his works.
now we're going to get to Satan's Eden. Now, Satan didn't like that.
Then, when he went to take a little rest, his enemy slipped in with deceit and took it over by misinterpreting his program to his children.
We learned about misinterpreting in the last message. Right, that's what Satan, that is Satan's big plan. So, Adam and Eve were taken out of the Garden of Eden. And Satan took over. So this beautiful place that God created, the devil now has took it over and he has begun to destroy it.
And now he has had 6,000 years of deceitful rule. Amen. Deceiving the people, God's children.
Satan now, just as God took 6,000 years to create his Eden, now the devil has took 6,000 years to create his Eden. Now the good thing about it is that God didn't just let that happen and sit by and do nothing. But in every age, God has always sent his prophets, always sent his messengers. Because in the Garden of Eden, before all of this took place, God would come down and talk to Adam and Eve lip to ear. God would come down and talk to them lip to ear. But now God will come down in the form of all of his prophets and talk to his people lip to ear. So now, God even though it's Satan's Eden, God still is in control.
Free fire.
This is the pillar of fire, yes. So we had Noah, and there was a little group that came out with Noah. There was Abraham.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Joseph.
Joseph, yes, Joseph. And a little group came out with him. There was Moses. There was Joshua. Who's this?
David.
King David. There was Elijah. There was John the Baptist. And then Jesus came himself. After 4,000 years, Jesus came himself to buy everything, to pay the price for all of us. And then God sent messengers. Who's this? Paul, Irenaeus, Martin, Columba, Luther, Wesley, and then finally, Brother Branham. God again come down to speak to his people.
Now, one pillar of fire.
Yes, Brother Branham and pillar of fire. And you would notice, listen to what Brother Branham said.
He has certainly had a marvelous success in carrying out his threats by the people letting him explain away in every age the value of God's promised word to that age.
It's been his plan to explain away from the people the promised word to that age. But we're not going to let the devil explain away the promised word to our age. And God has given us a message, and that's why we press play, because that is God's promised word for our age, and the devil is not going to explain away the tapes to us and tell us that is something for the past, because that is what is going to take us to this 7-day millennium. Just as God rested on the 7th day, God is going to have a millennium. He's going to destroy this whole civilization with all its airplanes and tanks and wars and cars and everything. And he said there won't be one car, one airplane. No, it'll be altogether a different civilization. We're going to come back after this 6th day, which we are now in. We're going to come to a 7-day millennium, and we're going to come all the way back to here again. We're going to come back for another 7 day of rest, and then we're going to go into eternity where we're going to be with Jesus. And all these messengers from here, all of them, with all their people, come, just take them. All of them, all of these messengers are going to be back here. We're going to all gather together. There's one day coming when we're all going to be together one more time. Yes. All of our messengers. So we're all coming back. Jesus paid the price for us to get back into God's Eden one more time. And we're going to be there forever. We're going to be out of Satan's Eden. And we can't wait to get out of Satan's Eden. And we're going to get out by pressing play and hearing God's voice.
Yay! Yay!